4 months ago, I sold all of my camera gear and made the jump over to the Nikon ZR, and this has been my experience so far. Before, I was shooting all my personal and my professional work on Sony, on the FX3, the FX30, and the FX6. But to be honest, I thought it was a great system to be on, but I just wasn't in love with it, and it really never inspired me to go out and to create more. And I was kind of looking for that next step. And that's when the Nikon ZR entered the picture for me. When the first initial specs of the camera were released, I, like many others, were really excited to get my hands on this camera. And so I put in a pre-order. There were some things that stuck out to me about this camera that had me really excited to use it as compared to other cameras that I've used in the past. For example, like the ability to shoot internal red raw on a $2,000 camera is insane. The fact that it also has in raw, which is also amazing and I love to use, as well as ProRes raw. Or the internal 32-bit float, so I don't have to worry about clipping my audio if it's too high or if it's set too low as well. One of my favorite things about this camera is the 4-inch screen. I feel like when I use this camera, I don't need to use an external monitor, and the form factor of this camera is quite small, and I've really enjoyed using it in a wide variety of scenarios. 4 months have passed now, and that honeymoon phase has worn off. And my honest opinion is this camera is great, and I don't actually regret making this purchase at all. Sure, it's a very new system, and Nikon is really new to the whole cinema game with the acquisition of Red, but I'm really excited for this camera and all the future updates that are going to continue to come down the line. My typical workflow when using this camera is if I'm doing any creative related projects, I'm going to be filming in R3D Red RAW. And honestly, it is the most beautiful image that I've ever seen come straight out of a camera. And for my client projects, I actually haven't even been shooting on that same Kodak, and I've been recording everything in Nikon RAW normal. The file sizes of R3D are just way too large for me to pass those off to my editor or to continue to store these huge projects with time. But when I shoot in RAW normal, I still get the flexibility of a 12-bit RAW, but I'm still saving plenty of space and it doesn't take up that much more than H.265. And speaking of H.265, I think it looks awful, to be honest, and I don't think it's useful. I've tried testing it a handful of times on a variety of different shoots and lighting conditions and subjects, and honestly, I'm just not a huge fan of it, and I'm gonna hold off on shooting in it until Nikon actually releases some updates down the line, which I really hope they do. Overall, the form factor of this camera is great. It's amazing if you do run and gun work or if you do productions. It can fill a variety of roles and would make a great A or B camera depending on the job. I know that Nikon has had some issues with their autofocus in the past, but with the ZR, I think it is perfect. I've used it in both photo and in video mode in a variety of different scenarios, and I've never had a single issue with it, and it's just as good as Canon or Sony. But this camera still has its flaws, and there's a few things that I wish that was different on it. First is going to be the H.265. It needs to get fixed. It is way too soft. The second thing is going to be exposure tools. We need false colors. Sometimes I almost feel like I'm guessing if I have the right exposure. Third is going to be the menu system. It can be a little tough to navigate at times, and I'm still struggling to find where certain things are at. So who is this camera for? In my opinion, this camera is for a video-focused hybrid creator that still needs to take stills from time to time. This camera is fantastic for personal run and gun projects, or even using them on a production with talking heads videos, or possibly even a documentary. It can really fit into just about any workflow as an A or a B camera. And to wrap things up, the most important question is, would I buy this camera again? And the answer to that is yes. Some days, of course, I have my doubts, just like anyone does with their camera. But this camera has provided me with amazing results, and my footage has never looked better, and my clients are saying the same thing. So if you're looking for a hybrid video first camera in 2026, I highly recommend the Nikon ZR. And of course, if you have any questions, drop those down in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks again for tuning in.